will go a long way in bringing about the much needed change in the state of Meghalaya. Under his lordship, leadership and guidance, we have been able to start the hybrid mode of hearing in the High Court, which has proved to be extremely beneficial for the parties who now have the option to appear either physically or virtually in court. This was followed by live streaming of all court proceedings, which have brought about the much needed transparency. It is a matter of great pride that this High Court is also a Wi-Fi enabled High Court. The above achievement, along with the rapid strides taken by the judiciary in the state in the development of the judicial infrastructure and other facilities in the state, can be much attributed to the selfless effort, guidance and leadership of His Lordship. We'll miss you, Lordship, and wish you all the best in your new journey. May I now request the Advocate General, Shri Amit Kumar, to address.
Honorable Chief Justice, my Lord Justice Sanjib Banerjee, Honorable Mr. Justice H.S. Thank you, Honorable Justice W. Bindu, Honorable Mr. Justice B. Bhattacharya, Madam Rani Kaur Banerjee, Amit, esteemed officers of Central State Government, my esteemed colleagues at Bar, and distinguished members of this gathering today. We stand united in bidding farewell to our esteemed Chief Justice Sri Sanjib Banerjee. We are privileged to gather here to honor a man whose illustrious career has left an indelible mark on our hearts, minds, and legal institutions served by him. Honorable Chief Justice Banerjee was born in Kolkata and received his education in the esteemed institution of St. Xavier Collegiate School, Kolkata, and St. Paul's School, Darjeeling. His academic grounding in economics and law from the University of Calcutta laid the foundation for a legal mind that was both analytical and compassionate. Interestingly, few are aware, at least in Meghalaya, that despite coming from a family with members in both the bar and bench, Justice Banerjee began his career as a sports journalist in Telegraph, where he worked for 5 years. However, he eventually answered the call for legal profession, joining the bar on 21st November 1990. Justice Banerjee's early day at the bar saw him navigate through complex areas of civil, corporate, arbitration, and constitutional law. He had a flourishing practice in various high courts, Supreme Court, Calcutta High Court, Guwahati High Court, Delhi High Court, tribunals. He was one of the most sought-after advocates for corporate and commercial matters across the country. Justice Banerjee, your Lordship's journey has been a saga of dedication, wisdom, and unwavering commitment to the cause of justice. Your Lordship's early days as a sports journalist and subsequent transition to the legal profession showcased by your innate curiosity and passion for truth. Your expertise in corporate and commercial law matters set you apart as a legal luminary. But it was your profound sense of duty that led you to forsake the comfort of lucrative practice to serve the public. We will be forever grateful to Justice Umapal, who persuaded you to join the bench when you had some initial reluctance to join the bench. It is the sense of duty which ultimately prevailed upon you, and you came to be appointed as permanent judge of the High Court of Calcutta on June 22, 2006. During your Lordship's tenure at Calcutta High Court, your Lordships delivered landmark judgments in commercial, particularly in company law, arbitration matters, which are still holding the field in this changing time. It is difficult to choose any one of them. After serving for 14 years in Kolkata on December 31st, 2020, Justice Banerjee was appointed as the Chief Justice of Madras High Court, and he assumed the office on 4 January 2021. His brief but impactful tenure in Madras was marked by a fearless commitment to constitutional rights, freedom of speech, and constitutional values. Justice Banerjee's transfer to Meghalaya High Court was a moment of pride for us in Meghalaya when your Lordship took oath on November 24, 2021. Your Lordship's knack of identifying and simplifying the issue in a complex case is unique, and dealing with the same in lucid, simple language without verbosity is a rarity in the legal field. Your Lordship's judgment have been rarely interfered with by the Supreme Court or by higher forum. The Lordships believe in disposing of the cases and rendering speedy justice. This demanded the advocates presenting the case before your lordship were always at their best, while challenging the experience of arguing before your lordship was so highly educational and helped us in improving our standard too. Your lordship's remarkable memory of facts, arguments, along with your lordship's ability to deliver well-reasoned and logical judgment in open court, set your lordship apart as one of the finest judges one could encounter in lifetime. Justice Banerjee never shied away from confronting the truth, even when it was uncomfortable and impolite. His honesty might not have been well received by those in position of authority, but he consistently held a mirror to those in power, reflecting the reality they often prefer to ignore. He did not demean anyone, but his object was to always instill a sense of duty in them. Your lordship's anger was not directed at the lawyer who was arguing the case, but your lordship did not tolerate injustice or obfuscation by anyone. The anger was also momentary and confined to the issue only. Your lordships never used the power to cause harm to anyone. However, your lordships always upheld the rule of law. The public interest always weighed with your lordships while discharging duties as judge, and your lordship as a man of conviction, which reflected in your lordship's order as Calcutta High Court judge relating to Durga Puja festivities during COVID-19 pandemic, prioritizing public safety over religious fervor. Your lordship always looked for solution to social legal problem. Your lordship's judicious approach has to a great extent addressed the issues of coal, health, road, traffic issues faced by people of Meghalaya. Your lordship always looked for innovative ways to help the common man. Directing the state to pay the cost in a case relating to collection of cess from cement companies for expanding the cancer wing facilities in civil hospital is one such example of innovative approach of your lordship. I can repeat innumerable examples where lordship's innovative approach has really helped the cause of common people in the state of Meghalaya. Under your lordship's leadership, Meghalaya witnessed rapid growth in judicial infrastructure, including new court complexes, staff appointments, and technological advancement. Separation of judiciary from executive in Meghalaya was achieved in later spirit under the leadership of your lordship. Justice Banerjee's emphasis on integrating technology, such as permanent hybrid hearing facilities, live streaming, made justice more accessible and transparent to common citizens. Meghalaya High Court was the first High Court in India to have hybrid facilities as well as live telecast for proceedings on YouTube. The lordship's philosophy of expanding access to justice and taking law to common man is second to none. The lordships practiced the philosophy of using the law as a tool of changing the life of common man. Your lordship believed that justice should not be a privilege limited to elite or wealthy, but fundamental right accessible to every citizen regardless of their social and economic standing. Your lordship's administrative reforms were aimed at ensuring judiciary remained responsive and resilient in changing time. Justice Banerjee engaged an independent agency for the first time in entire judicial history of this country, the Vidhi Center of Public Policy, to assess the efficiency and accountability of justice delivery system in Meghalaya. Your lordship's commitment to public interest was evident in your lordship's undertaking a long and arduous tour to remotest part of the state on almost every weekend. People of Meghalaya saw the Chief Justice at their doorstep for the first time in the history of the state. Your lordships became a common man's Chief Justice. The lordship is instrumental in the establishment and functioning of National Law University in Meghalaya, in Shillong. My lords also oversee the construction and operation of a state-of-art conference hall in High Court, facilitating world-class seminar and conferences, which we are all benefiting and enriching from the regular seminars which are being held on various important issues. Justice Banerjee in many ways brought a systemic change in justice delivery system in Meghalaya. Your lordships made significant effort to clear the backlog of cases, including pending criminal appeals, resulting in minimum number of pending cases in High Court. One of the Chief Justice Banerjee's most significant contribution was his judgment in Kumar Chand Singh clarifying the application of Code of Civil Procedure and Code of Criminal Procedure. Most significantly, Your Lordship nudged the state government to extend the application of CRPC and CPC to the state of Meghalaya. It ensured that people of Meghalaya are not deprived of safeguard enshrined in Criminal Procedure Code, and legal quagmire of having multiple procedural laws and codes are addressed to a great extent. There have been various notable judgments passed by Your Lordship during tenure as Chief Justice of Meghalaya High Court. Some of them Bright Star, where the right of a teacher to contest election. The another one is compensation to those who have died in prison or those who have died in police custody. I can enumerate large and long list of judgments where Your Lordship's imprint is very much there, and those values which Your Lordship stood for are reflected in those judgments, and those judgments will always inspire the entire whole lot of generation and lawyers and common persons to follow those values, my lord. Your Lordship's mentorship extended beyond the courtroom as Your Lordship urged the executive to provide fundamental, constitutional and legal rights effectively and expeditiously to the masses, benefiting the people of the state. In conclusion, on behalf of legal community and people of Meghalaya, I extend our deepest gratitude for your service. Your Lordship's contribution have been immeasurable, and your presence in bench and outside will be deeply missed. Madam Banerjee has penned a moving article in Ceylon Times. His Lordship and Madam Banerjee have been deeply attached to people of Ceylon because of its particular brand of purity, its quiet and cultural simplicity. Demeaning the office will not lead to severance of relationship. As people of Ceylon will call Your Lordship and Madam Banerjee again and again to Ceylon, as people are equally attached to you. As we bid farewell to Chief Justice Banerjee, we will strive to carry forward mantle of justice, equity and good conscience that Justice Banerjee has handed over to us. We wish him and his family robust health, happiness and success in his future endeavor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. N. Mozika, Deputy Solicitor General, to address the gallery.
Your Lordship, Honorable Chief Justice, Justice Banerjee, Justice H.S. thank you, Justice Dindo, Justice Bhattacharjee. My Lord, today we gather here to bid farewell to Your Lordship, as Your Lordship is stepping down from the bench today, my Lord. My Lord, this is a momentous occasion to express our gratitude and appreciation to the contribution Your Lordship had to the judicial landscape of the state, my Lord. I was speaking personally when I was in college, my Lord. The first time I came across a phrase, sentinel on the PV, my Lord. And my Lord, truly speaking, at that point of time, I could not understand what Justice Patanjali Sastry meant by using that phrase, my Lord. And my Lord, looking at your Lordship, my Lord, I feel myself that that was the phrase aptly and applicable to Your Lordship, my Lord. That image that a person, a soldier with a bow and arrow standing on the rampart of a fort, my Lord, or something like Iron Dome of Israel now, that's anything wrong happening anywhere, that sentinel will immediately take action, my Lord. So, my Lord, in my feeling, Your Lordship has turned this Honorable High Court into a sentinel on the PV for the citizen of this state, my Lord. My Lord, yesterday, just looking back, my Lord, over the last 2 years, my Lord, I told my associate to go through the website of Meghalaya High Court, my Lord, and the judgments passed by Your Lordship. Detailed judgments, my Lord. I'm not talking about the cases withdrawn or become infructuous, my Lord. Judgment rendered, my Lord. And in fact, there were on the website 324 judgments, cases decided by Lordship in the tenure, my Lord. And my associate asked me, how many cases I argued, my Lord. I had the privilege and honor to argue 102 matters out of those 324 matters before Lordship. Either as appellant or petitioner or as respondent, my Lord. So, my Lord, that was a great experience before Lordship. Then my associate asked, should I look at whether how many cases came in my favor and how many were against me, my Lord? I said, that is not important. What is more important is how many cases I addressed and argued before Lordship, my Lord. My Lord, what is more important, my Lord? of those 102 cases, only one case, my lord, I gave an opinion to the department to file an SLP out of 102 cases, my lord. And that also department did not file the appeal, they complied with the order, my lord. Of course, there were 2 or 3 other matters, my lord. Without my opinion, the department went on SLP, of course, without any fruitful result. So, my lord, that was the quality of judgment, my lord, that out of 102 cases which I argued, my lord, looking back, my lord, the quality of judgment, your lordship rendered 102 matters, my lord. My lord, your lordship stepping down today, my lord, knowing your lordship well, your lordship will be as busy as ever, my lord, even after debuting the office, and your lordship's, with your lordship's vast experience and knowledge, my lord. I was counting 16, 17 years at the bar and 16 or 17 years at the bench, my lord. There's a 50-50 ratio, my lord, this side and that side. Your lordship, with your lordship's immense knowledge, your lordship will continue to contribute to the legal system and to the cause of law and justice in this country, my lord. With these words, I wish your lordship, myself and on behalf of the Union of India, I wish your lordship best of health, good health, my lord, and best wishes for future endeavors, my lord. Much obliged.
Thanks, sir. Now I request P.S. Chakraborty, Senior Advocate and President of the High Court Bar Association, to address the hearing.
May it please your lordships, I deem it a great privilege and an honor to stand here today to address your lordships on behalf of myself and on behalf of the advocates and the bars of Meghalaya on this solemn occasion of bidding farewell to your lordships. My lord, your lordship's presence with us during the last 2 years has indeed been a huge learning experience for most of us. Not only in the sense of gathering knowledge, but also in gathering knowledge of how human qualities are to be given effect to, are to be implemented to the best possible limits. My lord, your lordship has been a living example of that well-known shloka in Gita, Kavanmena adhikarastha mahaphaleshu kadachana, which I believe means that one has to apply oneself to the work at hand and not to worry about the consequences and the results. Your Lordship, throughout these 2 years, we have witnessed how your Lordship has taken up the causes of the downtrodden, of those who required immediate redressal, and of how your Lordship has inspired the different institutions of the state to respond to the needs of the society. My Lord, your Lordship has never looked back or paused before taking the step forward in the direction in which it was required to be taken. Indeed, we in the state of Meghalaya shall remain ever indebted to your Lordship for this brief period of your Lordship's tenure as the Chief Justice here with us. My Lord, It is on record how much your Lordship has delivered during this period, and from our little experience of this period, we feel that we have missed a lot, in as much as that we have not had the privilege to work with your Lordship in the previous years of your Lordship's career as a judge, and before that as an advocate. My Lord, I don't stand here to pronounce any judgment, but it is only the true sense of gratitude and thankfulness on behalf of myself and on behalf of the legal fraternity at large, that I stand here today and express my heartfelt feelings. My Lord, it has been a very, very impressive career of your Lordship on the bench. And I believe prior to that, as a practicing lawyer, I hope that some of us at least would be able to emulate and follow your Lordship's footsteps in the coming years. In particular, I will call upon the younger members of the bar to learn their lessons from their interactions with your Lordship during this brief period. Beloved, today your Lordship shall be limiting office, but I believe that it shall be a new beginning for your Lordship. I am reminded of Lord Tennyson's words, the old order changeth, yielding its place to the new. And I'm sorry if I've quoted it wrongly, but that is what comes to my mind right now. And I think that is true with regard to the general order of the society, as well as in the lives of individuals. This is a momentary occasion in the life of your Lordship, as well as in the life of this esteemed institution, the High Court here. Your Lordship has indeed taken this institution to great heights, and we hope that this will continue, this trend will continue in the coming years. My Lord, our best wishes to your Lordship for a great time ahead. And we believe, in fact we know, that your Lordship will still continue to render justice in whatever manner possible in your Lordship's life in the coming years. We bid you farewell, your Lordship, with the warmest of feelings and with the deepest sense of gratitude and thankfulness.
Thank you, sir. Now I request your Lordship, Shri Sanjib Banerjee, Honorable Chief Justice, to kindly reply.
Mr. Advocate General, Mr. Amit Kumar, Mr. Deputy Solicitor General, Dr. Mozika, Mr. President of the Bar, Mr. Chakraborty, my esteemed colleagues, brothers, thank you, Dingdo and Bhattacharjee, my colleague from the Madras High Court and sitting judge, Justice Anand Venkatesh, my colleague and now retired from the Madras High Court, Justice Upadhyay, my dear friends, Mr. Pachawat and Mr. Bose, my contemporaries in the profession from Calcutta, my colleague from Madras, Mr. Jaishankar, and another colleague in my home office in the Chief Justice's residence in Madras, Mr. Bopalan, my wife, Dr. Rani Kaur, Madam, thank you, distinguished guests, members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I request you to excuse me if I choke for words, because I'm really overwhelmed. At times I felt like looking if there was anyone behind me who was being addressed, because all of these good things were not about me. I'm touched not in the gathering that I see over here. Most of you who would have been at the receiving end of some of my outbursts, and I apologize to you for that. But I'm touched by these great friends who've come from outside. I may not have been a good judge, but I must have done something good to attract such people here. Or should I say that I was not good enough as judge? I've always kept the persona away from the office and the chair. I've generally been diffident about myself, my harshest critic, and reticent in expressing my private opinion because of the office that I held, or in revealing my private life. But today it's all about me, isn't it? And today is the day of gratitude and thanksgiving, of rejoicing at the opportunity that was given to me. And I begin with the beginning, when I was invited to be elevated. We took a long time between my wife and I to discuss and understand the realities which would follow. We had young children, and so one day we sat them down in the bedroom, and my wife explained to them what life could become, how we could no longer go to five-star hotels, how I would never ever go to a restaurant till the time I held office, how we would have to avail of government accommodation, how they couldn't have any complaints against them because they were supposed to be models for everyone to emulate. And while she was explaining all this, my son, the more thoughtful, went off to his imaginary world, and our daughter, the more bouncy, the more cheerful, in a sing-song manner said, "Papa, can I ask you a question?" And he said, "Yes, ma." She said, "Baba, can I still call you Baba and not my lord?" I'm grateful for the support and the sacrifice that my immediate family made. From a rather lavish lifestyle, we went into a degree of simplicity, and in a sense, there were many good things that I thought I had to give up in public office. There are many good people who have had an impact on me, who have shown a lot of affection, encouragement, and support. I will not forget my senior, and after I was transferred to Meghalaya, and I called him and I hoped that I would receive some words of consolation, but then that was not Mr. Sudipto Sarkar. He quietly told me that your generation probably does not understand what it is to be a judge. I listened to him, and he said, the moment you take oath, you no longer have any aspiration, no personal ambition. The lesson was well taken. I must thank Justice Sipurkar for convincing me, and I recognize today that Mr. Bachawat, who's sitting here in our midst, was also invited along with me to be elevated. Both of us wanted to decline. Mr. Bachawat was firm. I could not stick to that ground because Justice Suma Pal, who was then the number 2 judge in the country, called me and told my wife that I had to make the sacrifice so that the position of judgeship could be advertised better upon my taking it up. And I'm very proud to say that a few of them attribute their acceptance of this office a little bit to me, more in Delhi and Bombay than in Calcutta though. I remember with gratitude the love and affection showed by several of my Chief Justices, a lot of them very illustrious, very learned, and some judges of the Supreme Court who took a liking for me. I remember today with a lot of fondness late Justice S.B. Sinha, who almost treated me as a son, Justice Ravindran, who was very affectionate, and these were judges of another generation, of another class, and a completely different order. Several times I've been asked privately whether there was any attempt at all to influence me, particularly by governments. And I've been surprised at the question because during my career of over 17 years, I have not found anyone remotely trying to influence which way my decision went. And I've worked in 2 dispensations in Bengal, in 2 dispensations in Tamil Nadu, and with 1 election held while I was here in Meghalaya. I'm proud to inform you today that with Mr. Jinnah, who I apologize to for not having recognized earlier, the learned public prosecutor from Madras, who is here to attend the farewell, he has carried a letter from the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu in my name. In Meghalaya, I have received, as the head of the judiciary, the fullest cooperation of the government and the complete attention of the Chief Minister whenever I have wanted. With my experience, particularly on the bench, I think I need to say a few words of the direction that the judiciary is taking in this country, and a few words that members of the bar should probably forgive me for, but I have to. There's been a churning in the Indian society, and we no longer have people from only the elitist class joining the profession. There is a gestation gap which is necessary when you join the profession. You cannot be enrolled yesterday and expect to earn today. There is a period of time that you unlearn what you've learned at schools and you learn a totally different way of how things happen in court, court craft, the art of advocacy. For a period of time, which may run into several tens of months or even years, you will not be adequately compensated or remunerated. But that is the investment, and that is where you must grit your teeth and do all the hard work. For that is the investment that you have the benefit for the rest of your life. If you run after money, as one of my dear friends said at the National Law University yesterday, it may never come. But if you apply yourself to the work, money will chase you where you don't even have to be bothered about it. As far as the judiciary is concerned, I have in the 17 and a half years seen a lot of change. Most of them for the better. Indeed, we should be proud that for a country that almost did not exist as one unit prior to its independence, the manner in which we progressed, the majesty of the rule of law in this country, the diversity that we still respect, I would just appeal that we should be a bit more patient for the other point of view. Persuasion is the way to go forward. We've used a lot of technology in the justice dispensation system. A lot of it is cut down on processes. A lot of it has made judges more accountable. But I would be happy to see a much more accountability from judges at the High Court level and at the district judiciary level. Indeed, authority in whatever forms is not a privilege, it's an obligation. And as public servants, all judges, like other public servants, must realize that even though the immediate job may be to address the list at hand, the larger picture is to ensure the benefit, ensure the upliftment of all citizens. We need a huge change to be brought about in the justice dispensation system. It is too heavily supply-side oriented. It's as if the system exists for the judges, then for the lawyers, if at all we care for the litigants. It should be much more demand-oriented, and we should realize at the end of it, it's a service that is being rendered. The system is for the citizens at large and not to the ones who have license to wear the black robes that we adorn. My journey in Meghalaya has been particularly rewarding. I have not seen any part of the country with so many smiling faces. I will never forget my weekend journeys going up and down these beautiful hills. I've been to Scotland, it doesn't stand a chance. And I will never forget the picture of the young lady with a basket balanced on her forehead, her young children behind her, touching up a hill, yet humming a tune, and a smile curling at the end of the lips. The happiness quotient over here is higher than elsewhere, and I've been repeating this over and over again. In our own way, we, my brothers and I, are very proud of having put infrastructure in place both in the High Court and in the district judiciary. And as my brothers, more than me, keep on telling you, that we have just a brick and mortar in place, the institutions require men and their resolution. My friends who are here, my contemporaries from the bar, I have nothing but gratitude for them. We were very close, but for 17 years and a bit more, we've stayed apart as if we probably did not know each other. We hope to correct that in the remaining years that we have. But this much I must say for my friends, my brothers, my family, that not for one moment did any one of them induce me to misuse or abuse my power for any favor. And for that, I'm very grateful, because there could have been requests that I may not have been able to turn down. I'm extremely grateful for the family structure that we in India boast of. My mother became a widow at age 26 when I was 2.5. If it hadn't been for the Indian family structure and my grandfather, we would have been swept away by some wave. My uncles thereafter, who were father figures to me, my aunts, who were as much as a mother as my own mother, and the family support that we've had. My wife, my dear friend from our college days, she always had to bear the worst of me. The stresses of court have resulted in completely unreasonable and unpardonable outbursts which she has endured. If I were in her place, I wouldn't have even been watching this on the virtual mode. There's a new family I found in Meghalaya. Before Justice Banerjee joined us recently, the three of us, brothers Thank You and Bingo and I, we would meet very often after the completion of a bench, have a cup of coffee. That would be a full court meeting. We would talk about serious things in the judiciary in a very light-hearted manner, and I'm very happy to say that in my brothers I leave behind leaders that when I go away, I'm assured that the systems we put in place will be carried forward. I owe a lot of gratitude to a whole lot of others, but in particular, I'll refer to the Registrar General, the Joint Secretary to the Law Department, and the Deputy Registrar in charge of Protocol, who all formed my weekend family as we went sometimes all the way to Bagmara on treacherous roads. Yes, Mr. Advocate General, they haven't been repaired yet. And to other parts of this beautiful state. I will never forget the visual ecstasy that I experienced in those drives from Nongstoin back to Shillong. The undulating hills on both sides, the noise of the trickling water, the smell of the earth when the first rains hit them, and the smile on the faces of young boys and girls waving the entourage as they passed. I'm blessed to have had this opportunity, to have been born in this, to have been at least the chance to serve in this glorious country. May God bless this beautiful country of India, our state of Meghalaya, and may all of you remember that all of us have had more opportunities, better facilities than a lot of others who are beyond this courtroom. If each one of us makes the effort of holding the hand of another who has been less fortunate, a lot of the social justice that the Constitution speaks of would have been delivered. God bless you all. Thank you for this opportunity. Hon'ble, Mithila, Jai Hind. I'm reminded that in order that you rejoice in the departure of this Chief Justice, no further judicial work will be taken up in this court for the rest of the day.
Thank you, Lordship. With Lordship permission, if you could, will be close. Request each one to join us for a light refreshment.